For most of human history, sweetness was something people encountered occasionally, not something that surrounded them every day. A ripe fruit during a certain season, or a rare opportunity to find a natural source of sweetness, could provide valuable energy in a world where food availability was constantly changing. Today, sweet flavors are found almost everywhere, in drinks, snacks, desserts, and countless products that would have been unfamiliar to people living thousands of years ago. So why does sugar feel so difficult for many people to resist? The answer is not simply about discipline or personal choices. It is a story about human history, about the environments that shaped us, the foods our ancestors encountered, and the rapid changes that transform the way we eat. To understand this relationship, we need to look back at the world where human behavior developed. For the majority of human existence, people lived in environments where food had to be found, collected, and prepared. Hunter-gatherer communities around the world adapted to different landscapes, climates, and available resources. There was no single ancient diet. Archaeological evidence suggests that human groups ate different combinations of foods depending on where they lived. Some relied more heavily on plants, while others depended more on animal resources. Many used a mixture of available foods, including fruits, roots, seeds, and other natural sources. Their diets were shaped by their surroundings. But across many environments, obtaining enough energy was an important part of survival. Food was not always predictable, and resources could change with seasons, climate, and location. In these conditions, foods containing valuable energy could be important. Researchers studying human evolution have explored whether attraction to sweet tastes may have helped humans recognize certain useful food sources when they were available. But ancient humans did not live in a world filled with unlimited sweetness. The difference was not that sweetness existed only today. Natural sweet foods have always been part of human environments. The difference was access. For most of history, sweet foods were connected to specific places, seasons, and circumstances. They were not constantly available at any moment of the day. Then human societies began changing the way food was produced. The development of agriculture was one of the biggest transformations in human history. Farming allowed communities to grow crops, store food, and support larger populations. Over many centuries, agriculture, trade, and new technologies gradually changed what foods people could access. Much later, advances in processing and industrial production made refined sugar increasingly available on a much larger scale. Foods with concentrated sweetness became easier for many societies to produce, purchase, and consume. This created a new relationship between humans and sweet foods. Human biology developed over a very long period of time, while many changes in the modern food environment happened much more recently. Researchers have explored this idea through the concept of evolutionary mismatch, the possibility that some traits shaped under older conditions may interact differently with newer environments. However, this does not mean humans are unable to adapt. Human behavior is flexible. People learn from their surroundings, develop new habits, and respond to cultural and environmental changes. The way humans interact with sugar is also influenced by many different factors. Research in biology, nutrition, and psychology suggests that taste preferences, experiences, culture, and the foods available around us all contribute to eating behavior. Sweetness can be appealing partly because it is often associated with energy-rich foods. But this is only one part of a much larger picture. The real question is not, why do humans like sugar? A deeper question is, what happens when ancient preferences meet a modern environment? Unlike anything humans experienced for most of history, for many of our ancestors, finding energy required effort. Food had to be discovered, gathered, prepared, and sometimes traveled for. Today, many people live in environments where highly concentrated sources of energy can be available almost instantly. This does not mean the past was perfect, and it does not mean modern life is a mistake. Ancient humans faced challenges that were very different from ours. Food shortages, injuries, infections, and environmental dangers were serious parts of life. Modern societies face different challenges, while also benefiting from advances in medicine, technology, and knowledge. The story of sugar is therefore not about humans losing control. It is about a species experiencing rapid change. The same human abilities that allowed people to survive changing climates, discover new foods, and build complex societies also allow us to understand our own behavior today. Looking at history does not provide a simple solution to every modern challenge. Instead, it gives us context. Our attraction to sweetness is connected to a much longer human journey, one shaped by survival, adaptation, culture, and changing environments. Our ancestors lived in a world where sweetness was limited and valuable. We live in a world where it can be abundant and constant. Understanding that difference helps explain not only our relationship with sugar, but also a larger truth about humanity. The world changes and humans are always trying to adapt to it.